What's up, my people? So we are back again. I know you're familiar with the two bald heads, the bald over here and the bald over there. The cat in the middle, he's been around. I actually met him before I met Ralph. He introduced me to Ralph, and this has been nothing but good stuff ever since. So, as most of you guys know, I was in a website development space for a hot minute. Whenever COVID came along, I kind of had a pivot. I was doing a whole lot of public speaking, traveling up and down the East Coast, around the Southeast, and COVID said, no more. You're going to sit down for a little bit. And I got to the point where I said, I got to do something to keep money coming in. So I started developing websites. But over time, over the years, I kind of just got tired of it because so many people were allowing their website to kind of fall to the wayside. They didn't have the right products, the right services to make it make sense to have a full website. So right when I was determining to get rid of that service, that's when Dillon popped up. And he mentioned the MiCard to me. Initially, I took a quick look. I didn't, think too much into it, but he stayed consistent and followed up with me again. And eventually, I'm like, I really need to look a little bit deeper into this. So he got me on a Zoom with Ralph here, and it was just like we was brothers from another mother. It was just an easy connection, and I tell people all the time, I don't care about your success. I don't care about your track record. I don't care about how much money you're making. If we can't gel, I'm not trying to work with you, and we just easily connected. So all of us have an athletic background. These two cats here, they went a little further than I went, but when it comes to the My Card here, for those of you who have heard of it already, there's so many benefits that we could have utilized back in our day if we had access. So I'm going to kind of step back real quick. We'll let Dillon go first. If you don't mind, man, just kind of give a little synopsis. Who is Dillon Mazzoni? What brought you here today with us? And then we'll turn it right on over to Ralph.
Sure, sure. Well, thanks for having me. My name is Dylan. So I've been in the athletic background since I was really 6 years old. I've been playing tackle football all through City League. Went through high school here at Melbourne High School, and then was fortunate enough to go ahead and play Division II football up in Pennsylvania, where we had a scholarship. Since that has ended, I've become a entrepreneur, I'd say, and a business owner in a sense, where I do own a funeral home now and crematory. And where I met Ralph was actually where he came forward to me with where he was starting MiCard as I was getting into the real estate space. And Ralph reached out to me, showing me what he has come up with. And that's kind of where me and Ralph have jumped into this and the athletic department with this and running with it.
Oh, I love it, man. That just goes to show like networking, like communicating, talking to one another, finding out what individuals do. You never know who you're going to connect with and how they're going to impact your life. So
Right.
we'll send it over now to the lighter skin, Mr. Clean. So talk to us, where you come from, how you get involved with my card, and what direction we taking this in today.
Well, that's up to you where you want to go. We got so many avenues, man. It's
Tell me about it.
awesome. Like, we were talking on the call earlier, and I was talking about you. You didn't even know. I mean, I didn't even know you were there. That's how good this is. So for me, every day that we're doing this, we're finding new relationships. It's actually building relationships, and that doesn't. I don't care if you're selling T-shirts or water or doesn't matter what your product is. It's all about relationships. There's somebody else that probably does what you do for a living. So how do you differentiate yourself? They either like you more, maybe you have more value that you need to add, but what is it that you're doing to get that opportunity from that person? They've got money in their pocket. They have to spend it with somebody. They're gonna go buy a T-shirt, but they have to make a conscious decision to take that money out and give it to you. And that's a lot of effort nowadays. And not on Amazon, but in a lot of these other worlds, it is. And so we found that when you're out there introducing yourself, breaking bread, doing conversations like MiCard's been able to do, and again, good old fashioned starting a conversation. When you hand out a paper card and it goes like, hey, how you doing? Here's my card, and then somebody's like, that's good, and then they pretty much throw it in the trash, right? What is that doing? You feel good, but did it accomplish anything? No, it didn't. There's no conversation. It's almost like you gave them a thing that they have to go find a trash can for. So think about it. When you're actually out there and you're using something in technology like we're able to do with our card, this becomes a huge conversational piece. I simply say, hey man, you got my card? Here you go, boom. And they get to simply scan it right off my lock screen. I save this to the lock screen. I don't want to go on the app. I don't want to use facial recognition and go through it all. I just put it right on the lock screen, scan it, and then the people, it pops up on their side, an awesome looking card. They're like, what, tell me about this. Now all of a sudden we're in conversation, right? We're talking. Now, it's not about the item I'm trying to sell them. They're getting to know me, like me, talk to me. We're engaging as people. They're going to remember me. Why? Because it wasn't, here's my piece of paper card, go find a trash can. No, it's here's this really cool device that actually has my digital card in it. It's got videos and before and after photos, all the information about me. It also has cash back coupons and discount in it for you, the customer. Now all of a sudden they're like, okay. And when you tell them they can get it for free, it goes viral. And that's kind of what we did is we built something that, helps people look good, gets you feel confident. Confidence is important. If you don't feel good about how you look and so forth, you're not going to get out there and be a good salesperson. They say sex sells. It's not the fact that sex sells. It's if you feel sexy in your own skin. Okay, I've seen people that are not very, in my opinion, attractive to me. I'm short. Maybe I don't want a tall girl. She could be beautiful. You can give me a top 10 and she can be gorgeous, but she's 5'10", a 6 foot girl. I don't care. I'm 5'7". There's no interest in me. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to find relationships. You're trying to bond with people, get to know people. That's the whole point of the card. You want to look good, tell people who you are, where to find you. So we're seeing a lot of that happen in all industries. We're seeing colleges, high schools. We're seeing athletes, influencers. I was just on a phone with a guy who's really close with Brad Lee. And I said, I already got Brad Lee. He goes, what are you talking about? He's like, do you know Grant? Got Grant? I'm like, I don't have Grant Cardone yet. He's like, okay, I'm calling him now. So, a lot of this is interesting because we don't get paid for our introduction. Like over the years, Brian, I call you and say, hey, Brian, do me a favor, man. Who do you know? And you'd be like, yeah, Ralph, I love it. And then you're like, man, I help everybody out. Everybody else is getting ahead. When's my turn? Well, that's what MiCard does. We pay you for the introductions you're doing every day. We pay you for the growing network. And so anyways, I'm sure that there's other things we could chat about, but that's kind of where it came from, is a passion to help other people. We're providing a passive income for folks, that they can get out of the hamster race. I mean, if your car payment's $800, what if I paid your car payment? What if I could teach you how to make $800 with my card? And that $700-800 went and paid your card payment. That probably make you a little bit happier, stuff like that.
Heck yeah, man. And whenever Dillon first brought it to my attention, all I'm thinking about is, man, I got all these entrepreneurs that I'm working with. They could all benefit from this. And I forget initially what brought the whole athlete side of things out. And maybe it was something that you mentioned, Ralph, but I started thinking, today's day, everybody is trying to lock in NIL deals. Everybody is I'm trying to get paid. If I'm going to go to this school, if I'm going to go to this school, that's the price you pay for enjoying the weather. So people are choosing schools, athletes are choosing schools based off of, okay, how much I'm going to be able to earn if I go to this school, go to that school, go to this school. Whereas what I've seen with MiCard is you can put so much more control in their hands, as far as the scouts don't have to go digging, looking here, looking there, trying to find a video here. Like, what about this kid's stats? Like, who's the parents? You can throw all of that into the MiCard, so it's just a one-stop shop, so to say. Now, I know when I was coming out of high school, had I put together like all my highlights and these videos, my stats, all the good stuff about me. Oh, he's not only a good athlete, but he's almost a 4.0 student as well. We need to go take a look at this guy. It probably would have been so much easier for me to lock in a scholarship somewhere. So, just you speaking, Dylan, I know you played at the collegiate level. What value do you feel you would have gotten had you had a MiCard back in your day?
Yeah, well, I know when I was being recruited, YouTube was just starting to become like a bigger thing.
Nice.
So, and prior to that, we were still sending all our tapes and everything else. So, I mean, one, you had to make sure it made it to the right department. Two, if the coach even saw it. And three, trying to follow back up with them was almost impossible. Now with MiCard, it makes it so much more easier to have that relationship with the coach, because now you're sharing your information with them, but it also stores it within the CRM system that's built in with the card as well too. So now you're building a relationship with them. It makes contact, communication a lot easier with them. Some of the difficulties that we found now with a lot of these athletes that are being recruited with the whole social media hype and everything, everyone's going to what's your Twitter, and half the time these Twitter names don't even match the athlete, or they don't remember it, or the scout writes it down incorrectly, or whatever it is. Now with the MiCard, here it is, scan my information, boom, you have everything you need about this individual athlete all in front of you. Every social media platform, all the highlight tapes, the stats, the school information, everything is all right there in front of you. So this has made recruiting so much easier for these athletes.
That's so much truth in that, man. I'm just playing back some of the conversations that I've had, that I've seen with some of the guys that are coming out of high school right now, that have been like, if I only had this in place, if I only had that in place, I could have got this to him so much quicker. I would have landed a spot at this school instead of having to settle for this school. So Ralph was just showing us, a nice little demo there. It looks just so clean, like to present yourself so cleanly. Now, there's a thing called reputation, and it's what you're known as. And in the real world, in the professional world, that's your brand. So Ralph kind of speaks to how athletes can improve or increase, or really demonstrate their worth when it comes to their brand, when they're able to take advantage of it and have control of it by using a MiCard.
Good question. We are all brands, whether we like it or not. And that's kind of what you said about your reputation. What your reputation is, your brand. It's coming one and the same. And as things are changing, like artificial intelligence is replacing so many of these lower end jobs, people aren't going to be able to go get a job at McDonald's. There's going to be certain things that certain age groups are going to be like, what do I do? These jobs aren't available. You've replaced it with machines and technology. So everybody has seen a massive shift. In the last 3 years, we've seen social commerce go from 0 to $1.6 trillion. That's because of stuff like TikTok Shop. But the problem is one, you have to have a TikTok account. Two, you have to have a heck of a lot of followers. Three, you got to beg those people to give you access to their product to sell it. There's a lot of work involved. I don't have a TikTok. I don't have a bunch of followers, and I don't have the time to chase them. So what we've done is we decentralized that, knowing that's a $1.6 trillion industry. We give you the opportunity to get a card. You can come in here and you can grab a card in 2 seconds. You can be like our local sheriff, Wayne Ivey. He's basically get a card. He comes in here. He's got his videos. He's put all this stuff together. He's able to download and get a card up and running in 20, 30 minutes. Now, what do you do with this? You're saving trees. That's good, right? You're going green. That's good. You're saving money on paper cards that go in the trash. That's good. You're doing all that stuff. At the same point, you're branding yourself because you've got your company logo in a digital space, and all the things about you are in one spot, whether it be any of your social medias, your contact. Like Dillon said earlier, if I meet somebody, like no joke, my mom and dad have different social medias. Like my mom actually will only have Instagram. My dad has Facebook, so they don't see each other's comments. This way they don't have to argue and say, oh, I saw you say this. So they actually won't look at each other's platforms, right? How crazy is that? So if I have to post something, my mom doesn't see it if I only post on Facebook. If I post on Instagram, my dad doesn't see it. So to Dillon's point, if everybody's got, R Perrone or Ralph S Perrone or Ralph S Perrone Jr., I've got 15 different handles. How do you know where to find me? This is easy. It's all about one thing. Hi, nice to meet you. Hey, Brian, catch me later. Go ahead and scan my MiCard. Tap. There's several ways. You can text message it, email it. You can do a lot of ways to get this information, but you could spend 30 minutes to an hour at home. You can put yourself together, your glamour shot, and now all of a sudden you're out there pushing, well, yourself. And you're talking about who you are and what you do, where to find you, and you've curated it in a perfect way that you look amazing. And you're putting your best foot forward. They always say you only make what? How many first impressions? The best one is the first one. Don't mess it up. So you want to look good. This is how to do it.
Yeah, and that's just so real. And in today's society, we have so many people that point their fingers, make excuses, complain left and right about why they aren't where they want to be in life. And typically it's because you're allowing society to tell everyone who you are, what you are. You're allowing people to go and pick and choose where they want to go to find out the information that they want to know about you. Oftentimes they may go to someone who don't care about you. They may go to someone who despises you, who's trying to hate on you. And they're getting information from that person. You have nothing in place to dispute that information, to invalidate that information. So based off of the party that's going looking for it, that's the truth. That's the fact. So I know I know there's lots of when it comes to student athletes specifically, a lot of students are always looking for ways to generate a little extra pocket change. Now, at the same time, a lot of students are also out there spending money like crazy on things they ain't got no business spending money on. Now, I was going through the brand deals, the brand, the all the thousands that we have available, and some of the most top tier brands out there are on this app. So, like literally, some of the top tier brands out there are on this app. So, what are some brands that you've seen that you feel athletes can really take advantage of? And before I kind of turn it over to you on that, I'm just thinking about when I was a student athlete, there was always, these shoes that I wanted to get. Maybe, my parents didn't want to get them for me, these whatever type of swag. And I didn't have access to get it. Now you can, your homeboys can, you can go to one another's stores or one another's apps and get discounts. Plus your homeboys can go on your app and get discounts and start making money from it as well. So, what are the perks that you've really seen when it comes to the retail deals as it pertains to a student athlete?
Well, as a student athlete, I'm going to bring it back to my wife because that's usually even more fun when it hits home. So she's not on here, but Dylan's wife and my wife, they like to shop. They like to buy stuff on Amazon. So I know that Dillon knows what I'm talking about because I can go, like my dogs bark all day long because the mailman's like, Ralph, your wife's making my back hurt. Like, okay, he knows my name. This isn't good. So long story short, though, what we found is like my wife does a really good job of buying stuff on Amazon, and then she does like that open box theory. So she opens it up and she's like, take a look, this is cool. And then she gets some light thing with disco lights and laser beams. And like, I got the laser, see, I got the thing behind me now. My wife buys lights and I disappear and they just pop up around the house. What she does is she gets it all for free. And people are like, well, how do you get it for free? And I said, well, it's not free up front. My wife buys it. She spends 20, 30 bucks, right? And then she gets the item. When she gets the item, she does the unbox. She puts a link on her Facebook and then essentially tells everybody that she loves it or hates it. Hopefully, we get her money back if she loves it. If she hates it, she's sending it back and we get her money back that way. It's free because I don't want it. Well, normally, most of these companies pay 5, 10, 20% commission. So it's a matter of what I need to do. Do I sell 5 and I get my money back? 10 and I get my money back? So my wife the other day, she bought some laser light shows. So when she's upstairs working out on the bike and doing the thing, all these lasers would go crazy and it's cool, but it's $32. Well, she sold 10 of them on her post on social media because people are like, oh, that's cool, because she had it all strobe. So she actually got it for free and made, I think, $12 or $17. So to your point, if you're a young athlete and you can't afford maybe a new pair of Nikes, but you got a decent size audience, so go grab the Nikes. If they're paying you a 5% commission, you got to sell 20 pairs, you get it for free. If they're paying you a 10% commission, it's 10 pairs and you get yours for free. You got to build the audience, and then people out there, these stores want to do it. They want to pay you. Why? Because they know that Amazon is kicking their butt. Amazon goes from big box to your front door. It's a distribution center to your front door. Well, you can drive up to the mall and buy something, but unfortunately there's rent, there's people that work there, there's utilities. And I'm not saying I don't want those people to have a job. It's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying that it's evolution, and the dinosaurs went extinct, and I didn't have nothing to do with it either. So believe me, if the economy is going this direction, I have nothing to do with it. It's much bigger than me. So all those people are now able to go out there and make those purchases and do things of that nature in a different capacity. Where are you able to do that now, Brian? You got to go to TikTok. You got to do those things. You can't make the sales. Well, you can go to Amazon and buy something. It shows up in two days. It's not the big deal. You get Amazon Prime maybe next day. So these companies are saying, Ralph, if I can just go directly from our distribution center to, Ulta, great one. All the girls love Ulta. You don't have to drive to Ulta and spend the money. Just click a button. It'll show up at your house in 48 hours, and you can buy from yourself and save money. They don't need to pay some beauty queen $1 million to put on the lipstick and hope you buy it. They'd rather pay you if you bought something, because then it's a direct tit for tat. It happened only because of such. And so that's where this is becoming extremely big. People need to definitely pay attention. Social commerce is the fastest growing thing. 3-4 years ago, Brian, if you would have called Dillon a social influencer, he may have punched you. He may have been like, what are you talking about? Don't call me that. Now, Dillon's probably like, yo, I'm a social influencer. And then you look him up, he's got 1,300 followers. Like, dude, you ain't no freaking social influencer, man. You got 1,300 followers. But that's what we want to be at 3 years later. We want to be social influencers. So that's where we're basically as nano, macro, micro, depends on how many thousands you got. So if you got 0 to 1,000 or 5 or 10, basically it's the small guys like us. I'm a small guy. I've got 5,000 here and 2,000 here. That's what these companies want. They want to tap into us because, Brian, if you and I were out walking one day and we just got done working out, and you told me that this was the best pre-workout you've ever had, and I said what it was, and you told me it was Jack 3D, do you think that I may want to buy it if you gave me that type of recommendation?
Probably so.
Yep. And Dillon, if we were walking down the street and you told me I was complaining, man, my feet have been killing me, and you're like, Ralph, what's wrong? I'm like, hey, I've had plantar fasciitis for the last 2 years. And then you say, dude, I found these shoes down here. They're at the running zone. They have a great arch support. You should go get it. Now, am I likely to listen to Dillon or Shaquille O'Neal on TV? Probably going to listen to Dillon. Now, these word of mouth sales that we just did, these 2 examples, I just bought from Brian and I just bought from Dillon. You both made no money in those examples. However, with MiCard, you would have done what I just did in real time, and you both would have earned a paycheck. That's the difference of real-time social commerce. And then, you know what? It was funny because I do talk to a lot of MLM guys, and I tell them I'm not a real big traditional multi-level marketing. It's just not me. I'm not a traditionalist in that capacity. We've actually decentralized it. And I said, what do you mean? Well, do you remember back in the day, like Avon, you'd have an Avon party or a Tupperware party or a chocolate. People would go to each other's homes in a social setting, and basically they would try a product out. That was social commerce 101. That was the beginning of it. But nobody's going to each other's houses doing Tupperware parties anymore. We have TikTok. We've got Instagram. We've got ways to communicate into the masses. That's where we're starting to see this TikTok shop. It's really just an MLM of the future inside an app that you don't have to go to your girlfriend's house down the street with 20 other ladies. That's kind of the cool part. They were comparing this and social commerce to the old school MLM and getting together and doing pamper parties.
But Ralph, though, like to be like an affiliate and make commissions from these companies, don't I have to like go to each of these companies and apply and be approved? Like, don't I?
Not with us. You would if you didn't come to MiCard. That's the point, bro, because we make it easy for you.
To piggyback off of that, the analytics as well too, which will be huge for a lot of these athletes. So
Dylan, go ahead and tell me more about that, because I know that's where you're going.
The analytics are, it's tracking all these sales and everything. So for instance, say I'm not sponsored by Nike or Under Armour, but I go ahead and I sell, 300 pairs of cleats last quarter. Well, with the analytics, now I could take that data to Nike or Under Armour or whoever's with MiCard that we're selling their products. And now I could go ahead and work a deal out to where now I could become a Nike athlete or an Under Armour athlete or sponsored by Ray-Bans or whoever.
And to your point, you're already doing this stuff anyways. Like I said, I'm already walking with Dillon, and I'm having a conversation with him about my feet. He might as well get paid. I'm already walking with Brian, and we're talking about this, and he's telling me about the pre-workout. These are social interactions that we're already doing on a day-to-day basis. You're not getting paid for it. You guys already have paper cards. Does your paper card pay you? No.
Mm-hmm.
Does Apple pay you? Dot? Link, Blink. I mean, there's a lot of them out there. None of them have a paycheck for you. None of them come preloaded with thousands of retailers for you to make money on. You know, when I first did it, I have mine at Home Depot because I'm in my real estate mode today. I went and showing property, right? I do that as my super day job. I put my MiCard cape on at nighttime. So during the daytime, I'm all about real estate, right? So when we do real estate, I wanted to get myself brand recognition. So when I'm Perrone Realty and I put my brand directly next to, say, Home Depot or Lowe's, do you think that helps or hurts my brand?
I think it might help us a little bit. It might help us a little bit.
You put Ralph Perrone and you put me next to Best Buy and Lowe's. All of a sudden, I think my credibility goes up just a little bit. And I did this on purpose. And the good thing is, if you don't want that, you can move all this stuff around. I like the logos up top because I want to bring that recognition, because I am little old Perrone Realty. I'm not Remax. I'm not Century 21. I'm not a big corporation. So because of that, I have put those other big companies closer. So if I'm at somebody's home and they're like comparing me to a Century 21 or an ERA or whatever the company I'm being compared about, I look pretty good because I show them my national exposure. I show them my national partners. I tell them, look, I have Best Buy and Home Depot that I'm working with. These are very impressive. It helps the customer feel comfortable with me. It brings clarification to who I am in the marketplace. And now all of a sudden we can get down to doing business. So there's a lot of things that the card does. It makes you look good. It makes me feel confident. It makes me feel good. And that confidence, like I said, it's not sex, it's sexy. You have to feel good in your own skin and feel confident. Confidence can be in your mind, but also how you feel. You can be really smart, but you're not wearing your best clothing, right? Or maybe you're not feeling up to health. This is all important to you doing your best job out there in the community.
Exactly. And, you know, just speaking about, first and foremost, branding. So you just stood up, you showed us Perrone Realty. I'm over here rocking Your Legacy Begins Now. Dylan over here. We are rocking our own. Who's putting money in your pocket, and whose pocket are you putting money in? We got so many people out here are so big about, let me go get my Gucci, let me go get my Louis. Are Louis and Gucci putting money in your pocket? Rep your own brand so that slowly but surely people can put money in your pocket. Grab the MiCard, throw your own brand on it. People are going to put money in your pocket. So as athletes, yes, you can go out here and, you know, sign with a company here, a company there. But how about you start off signing with yourself? How about you start off creating your own brand so that people want to come to you? And speaking of and we'll take it in a slightly different direction, but in alignment with what you were just saying. Sex sells, and it's not sex in and of itself. It's the feeling. It's the energy you give off. I know myself. 2019 was the last time I was really like rocking with my physique the way, like, I was confident with it. I
Yeah.
sat down a little bit during COVID, and I'm not where I want to be right now, but I'm getting there. But as I get closer to it, I feel more confident. And I don't know if either of you guys follow Deion Sanders at all, but if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good. That goes across the board. If you are a highly confident person, the way you present yourself is going to influence what comes back to you. So you're an athlete out here, and you walk into, you know, a meeting, you're on the in public somewhere, and you just happen to, cross by a scout or a head coach or someone that has authority in the area and the direction you're looking to go, you pull out a MiCard, that's going to impress them. And when you lay that first impression down like that, it's going to stick with them. They scan your card, get your information. It's going to be so much easier for them to be able to pass it forward to the right person, making the decisions. So branding yourself for one, and I know you got a couple years on me, but like your physique, you make sure that you present yourself in a way that shows, okay, this guy takes care of himself, takes care of his appearance, his physique. Typically the way you do one thing is the way you do most things. So I'm willing to listen to how he operates over here because I'm digging how he operates over there. If you're an athlete and you don't know where to point a coach or a scout for your staff, you don't know where to point them. Oh, well, I got to hit up such and such. I got to talk to so and so I got to get my highlight reel. No, have it all in one place. Be organized, and that's going to be that first impression that so many are more willing to connect with you once they grab. So just going back to your days, so first off, Ralph, I was scouring the internet like I got to find a picture of Ralph playing football. So give us a little walk down memory lane of your football days, and what could specifically what could my card have done for you back in the old 305 days?
Well, we didn't have cell phones back in
Right.
1935, so we don't know what you're talking about. But no, no. I mean, I played football in the 80s and 90s in Miami. So I actually was a 3-time state champion, Pop Warner, and that's very rare to get 3 of them, in the 90, the 110, and the 120 division. And then went off to high school. And when I went to high school, I'm like, yeah, varsity football, baseball, track, bowling, golf. I'm killing it. And I thought I had this huge reputation. Back then, we had this old school crappy system. We paid a company like $2,500. They would come to the school. They would take a VHS with those big cameras over the shoulder and be like, yeah, man, we're going to record you. I still have those VHS tapes, believe it or not. They're in my box, my plastic savings box upstairs. I don't have a VCR, so they're useless, but that's
Right.
beside the point. So those tapes, I had to make them and send them off. That was very expensive, very time consuming. And to Dillon's point, no idea if they ever even looked at them. There's no nothing. When you actually use the MiCard, you actually can see whether or not they joined. There's an email notification that you get. There's tracking behind it. There's those analytics. So that's huge. The other thing is that really when it came down to that footage that was being done, today with our cell phones, we get a lot of footage that we can be capturing. So you may want to update stuff. Unfortunately, with those old school VHS tapes, it was a once and done. Whatever they captured in that 30-minute, you didn't record, you couldn't edit. And today, I love the fact that I can edit all my videos, make them nice short, and basically put them in, and I can take them on and off on the fly. Meaning, let's say I just had a big game and I got 2 new big plays, and I don't want to put 20 of them. I can go in and delete a couple of ones that aren't as significant and put them in there. They update in real time. You don't have to go back to the coach and tap them and resend it, mail out new letters or nothing. You change anything on the card, it's all real time. So when I was in high school trying to sell myself as a college student or to get picked up by a Division I AA or even Division I, it was a challenge. You're sitting back like, how are you going to get noticed? Well, getting noticed is if you're standing in a herd of cows over here and there's 1,000 of them and there's only one cow over here, which one can you see that cow easier? I can see the one guy over here a lot easier. So if you want to differentiate yourself and leave a lasting impression or the best first impression, go in and get a MiCard, curate it, put an amazing skilled picture, maybe you jumping over like this. Some of these pictures that I'm seeing that folks are doing, they're coming out amazing as far as the athletes go. Like here's a couple athletes here, when she passes out this card, that's going to look amazing. Now, when you start looking at these other individuals, everybody's got a different way of doing it. Now, this is a basketball player here. Here's a different basketball player. Now, these guys are all putting their own personalities in it, like Brian was saying. if you're able to put your own personality and it's able to kind of showcase and come out, now all of a sudden when you're out there promoting yourself and talking about who you are and your brand, people are going to remember you a lot more when they have a picture to remember you by, and they can find all of your content and your social media. The other thing is, Brian, we didn't have all that social media, right? Today, I find that a lot of the kids are really strong on maybe TikTok or Instagram, but maybe they're missing out on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn. And what this does is allows somebody to follow you where you need to be followed. Because again, maybe that coach doesn't have a TikTok, but now he can find you because he doesn't know your handle, to Dillon's point. Now they can find you and see all these wonderful slam dunks or home runs because that's where you're putting the content. But they have to go find you, and it's not easy. This just changes that for you, puts it all inside of one spot. And we haven't even talked about the money. Like, all of this actually comes with a paycheck. I mean, it really comes down to it. The NIL allows people to get paid now. So you can get paid from Nike and Under Armour, great, but we also pay you too. I mean, these young man, Diamond, he's got 4 million followers on his social media accounts. And I told him, I said, you could sell some Nike shoes, but let me ask you a question. Do you want to get so much money you could buy 100 pairs yourself? He's like, what are you talking about? And I said, you have 4 million followers. I don't. If you can get 1% of 4 million and you're an athlete, I'm going to challenge you. As an athlete, I want you to fail 99% of the time. Exactly. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm only asking you to be successful. 1% of 4 million is 40,000 people. I will owe you 400,000 a month in revenue share. He said, excuse me? And I said, I get it. It's a big number. It's life-changing. I essentially, for every person who pays me money, I pay you that money. You just have to have a $50 a year license. Makes it really simple. I take care of you. You're going to get paid. And he's like, where's the money come from? And like I said earlier on the call, we don't pay Apple. We do this whole Netflix model. You download our app. You do all the changes off the app itself on the internet, and we keep that 30% of the company. But instead of putting it in our pocket and us buying like Facebook, another island, or like the owners of Google buying another 20 jets, we give away the money. That's as simple as it is. We give away the money. If you have a license, we send you money. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'm just going to kind of tie in the entrepreneurial space and aspect of this. So you've created a decent life for yourself. I say decent, just to not throw it all out there. You've done well for yourself. A lot
Thanks.
of people can't really grasp that because you're so down to earth, because you're so just real. Once you get to certain stages of success in life, oftentimes, not everyone, but oftentimes you have that desire to give back. You have that desire to say, you know what, I've done well for myself. Let me help position some other individuals to do well for themselves. So many people may listen to this information and you just let it go in one ear, out the other ear, and not realize the magnitude of for one, income that they can generate, the way that they can change their reputation, the way they can really take charge of the future direction of their life if they take hold of a MiCard and they rep all the rest of the things that they're already known for. You already have some sort of expertise in something, even if it's just your life experience. And you can plug in an ebook or something to teach people how to be successful, even if it's just this is how to have the happiest life living in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Like, you haven't done anything, but you're happy. You can wrap a product or a service around that, brand it on MiCard, and there you go. So just as we get ready to wrap up, I want you to share, like, what is the vision in your eyes? What do you foresee in the next 3 to 5 years when it comes to MiCard?
That's a great question. And I actually started to tell that story to somebody on a previous call. And she said, I want you to say that to everybody now. And I said, why would I tell people that? It's putting the cart in front of the horse. She goes, no. People want to know the why you're doing stuff. We got tangented, me and this lady. She brought on a very heavy hitter, the Grant Cardone joke I made earlier. And he was telling me, like, look, Ralph, I really appreciate the fact that you're as real as you are. Most people They just want to have the representation on the phone. Ralph comes to the show, and that's really impressive that you do that. He said, but one of the things that for me is like, where are you going with this? Like, what's your why? And I said, it's not about making the money. I essentially wanted to feel something. When I've been a real estate agent for my whole life, I was rated number 32 out of 1.6 million in the United States. It's pretty high. I've always been the top 0.5% of all U.S. real estate agents. I've been a mortgage broker. I've had a car dealership, landscaping company. I've had as many as 200 people working for me. 7-figure income. It's like you said, I've done some stuff, and I've been on Fox News, MSNBC. I wrote 3 books. Had my own show on HGTV for a while with my partner Hendra. But when I adopted 6 kids, we talked about that. I've got 3 daughters myself, so I have 9 kids. People are like, who is this guy? And I went to a life coach, and he slapped me upside the head. He said, you're a really good hunter and you chase money, but you need passive income. And it's like you get on a plane and they say the oxygen mask comes down. You got to put it on before you help everybody else. So I was always out there hunting, looking for myself. And my life coach said, when did you really feel good? Like, when did you feel good about yourself? And to your point, Brian, it was about helping other people. It wasn't about when I was doing myself, taking care of me, I. And I was at the mall, local mall here, walking, and 3 tall kids came walking towards me, and I thought I was going to get jumped. Come to find out, they said, Coach Ralph. And I'm like, oh, whew, good. I coached them. I know who I'm talking about, because I coached them. They were this tall. Now they're this tall, right? So went from looking at them to looking at them. So now all of a sudden I'm surrounding myself, and they're like, Ralph, if it wasn't for you, I'd be dead. If it wasn't for you, this would have happened. Now, those were some real genuine moments that made me basically tear up, and when you're basically finding that's more valuable to you and impactful, that's when my life coach said, that's what I'm talking about. You being the top of your totem pole and everybody's afraid for you. You're the boss. People fear you. You're the owner of the company. They can get fired. They fear you. They kiss your butt. They go around the corner. That's not the case. So I've always been real with individuals and don't want to sugarcoat it. What we found is that this is a chance for people to learn about financial freedom. This is a chance for people to find passive residual income. And part of me as a human being is I'm really good with math. And I want to teach people how to get off what I call the hamster wheel. The hamster wheel is, okay, great. You have $5,000 a month in bills. Every single month, you got $5,000 a month pushing on you. And it's so much stress. Your family's stressed. You're stressed. Your wife is stressed. Your kids are stressed. $5,000 a month is maybe a couple hundred people underneath you in your network here on MiCard, and you're going to get a couple thousand residual dollars that could pay that car payment. Maybe it pays the mortgage or something. It doesn't matter. It's money that you're going to get paid for something you're already doing. You're already passing out paper cards or promoting yourself, your service, telling people who you are. You're already using Linktree or Dot. You're already clicking coupons. You're already, whatever you're doing, you're shopping on the internet. Hello, you're already shopping on the internet, right? So if I'm not asking you to do anything different besides leave an old system and move over, what do you have to lose? There's no contracts. There's no cancellation fee. Except for a check, you're just going to lose out on your opportunity to get paid. It's really just how we're able to help people through that residual income. It ties into their future. Think about this. Time value of money is very misunderstood because we don't teach this in our schools. So once I teach people how to make an extra $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, I'm going to teach them how to utilize that. Now, if you take that money and you know that an amortization schedule, which is a 30-year home loan, it can take you 30 years or 10 years. How would you rather own your home in 10 or 30 years, Brian? What are you doing with the other 20 years? You're just wasting money, aren't you?
Pretty much.
I'd rather own my home free and clear in 7 to 10 years versus owe the bank after those time frame. Now, what if I gave you a credit card and it's got 22% interest and you swiped it every single day, $100, at the end of the month you have $3,000. You pay it off in full, Brian. How much money do you owe in interest? None. Now, Brian, you get a $300,000 house and you get a 3.25 interest rate. Yeah, buddy. And you're still going to pay them $2,500 in interest. Wow. So wait, you're borrowing these people's money on a monthly basis, paying no interest. You're borrowing their money and you're paying 2,500 interest. This one's 22% interest rate. This one's 3.25. Wait, you're bragging about 3.25. I don't hear anybody bragging about paying 2,500 a month in interest. You're bragging about the wrong thing. People don't even understand how the banks are bamboozling them, taking the money from them, and basically working them to death. So simple interest versus compounding. So we're going to teach people, hey, if I can generate an extra $1,000 a month for you, do you know if you put 300 a month over here in your savings account, you could retire with $1.2 million? People don't know this stuff, man. They don't teach you in high school how to balance a checkbook. So my biggest purpose is to teach you how to look good, feel good, promote yourself, make some money, and then I want to teach you how to invest it. I'm going to teach you to do what I've done, how to make money. I make $10,000 a month easy, and I don't have to wake up, right? My bills are over 10,000, and I make more than what I need to, and I don't have to have a job. I don't have to go to work. How many people would love to have no job, but yet have a career that they love doing something, helping other people, that they make enough money to pay their bills? And I don't trade time for money. I work for me and my time because I only have one life on this planet, and it's very short. Okay, it's very short, and I sure don't want to be trading time for money. And so if people want to learn how to get off the hamster wheel, but you don't want to sell, potions and lotions, you want to learn how to sell your business. You're an entrepreneur, no problem. You're a plumber, get a card and talk about plumbing services. Put your before and after picture. If you're an athlete, put on there all of your GPAs, your statistics, where you've played, your little leagues, your awards, your accolades, your Mr. Dependable, your whatever, trophies. Put all this stuff in there. This is your spot to look your best in a digital format that you can share with anybody anytime you want, man. I mean, there's nothing like it out there that comes with you to get paid. And the crazy thing is, if anybody likes this, they go to the 10 or the 30. Remember, it's 3 and free. We do it automatically. So if somebody gets the free card, like we talked about, they get signed up underneath you guys, they get a free card. They're like, wow, I want to unlock the affiliate. I want to unlock. Great. You go pay $30. That's the most expensive subscription I got. Whopping $30 to get all the value. You're now going to basically, from that perspective, turn around and you share with 3 people, you're free. You don't even have to pay for the card anymore. So we don't really here to take your money. We're not looking to extrapolate money from you. We're looking to find ways to teach you. This is a platform for education as well. So yeah, it's a much deeper purpose, man. I appreciate you asking, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's just a card. No, Popple is a card. Dot is a card. What we are is a platform that's going to impact people's lives. We're going to teach people how to invest. We're going to teach people how to do things. We've got deals set up with Shark Tank where companies come off for the first time. You can get opportunity with it. We've got access to other real estate projects that are growing that you'll be able to invest in. So we're sorting and finding good deals and properties that you'll be able to invest the money in. Popple doesn't do this. Dot, Link. So we're very, very different. I get that a lot. Like, what makes you different from your competitors? It's easier. It's a pretty long list, man.
Yeah, and I appreciate you sharing that. As we get ready to close out, I want everybody to just for those who are here because you know me, I'm big about my reputation. I don't put my name on just anything. I don't partner with just anyone. There's been lots of individuals, lots of companies that I've associated myself with over the years, but I didn't put it out there to the public because I had to evaluate what is the integrity that's in this group of leaders. What is the ethics? What's the value? What are they doing this for? Who are they really looking to impact? Do they really care about me, or do they care more about my pocketbook? So to bring these guys before you on a consistent basis, like I didn't start my company. Your legacy begins now to make a quick buck, to clout that. I'm out here doing it big. No, I wanted to help people understand that there's individuals in the world like Dillon Mazzoni. There's individuals in the world like Ralph Perrone. There's individuals in the world like myself who have value, who have access, who have resources that we want to put in front of you so you can realize, wow, if I utilize all these, I can actually start today to create the legacy that I want to leave behind. Don't allow your past to dictate where you're going. Get around the right people so that you can make the choices to dictate what that future is going to be.
You know, what's interesting is impactful in your life. I'm working with a young man. His name's Tracy. Dillon had a chance to meet with him before. And, you know, he's already recruited 370 people on his free card. And that's pretty impressive in a month and a half. Now he's going back to them and he's transitioning them all, telling each and every single one to transition from the free to the $30. He'll then generate $3,700 a month for himself when they do that. Okay, check number one, $3,700 for him. He's also telling them, hey guys, as much as you 370 all have come on for free and you're going to pay the $30, if you can do what I'm doing, calling 3 people, you won't pay me the 30. So in that level, we'll have what? 370 people times 3. That's what, 740,000, 1,100 people. So you'll have about 1,100 people at $2. So going back to this, over the last 45 to 60 days, Tracy has given away 370 free cards to athletes. He's been going to the football games. He's been going to local 7-on-7s, 370. He's going to get them to transition from free to 30 and tell them, don't pay me 30 2 months in a row. Go get 3 people and you won't pay me. Now, we pay $10 level 1, and that's why 370 people is $3,700. That's good money for Tracy. Then we have $2 on level 2, and we have what, 1,100 people there? So it's another 2,000. So where can Tracy make $6,000 in past? This is monthly. It's $6,000 every single month. It's not one time, guys. So where can Tracy make $72,000 in the next 12 months? By giving away 370 free cards, getting them to all upgrade to the $30, and getting them to just get 3 people so they don't have to pay. Now, if this continues to go on, you can see the damage that happens here. Now, Tracy's gone out and he's actually recruited several high schools. He's contacting several 7-on-7 leagues. He's going further. He's got, once you see how this works, the excitement, he's actually working like, I would say 30 hours a week on this now, because he was full-time at his other job. He's like, wow, this is fun. This is exciting. I like what I'm doing. I'm helping athletes. I'm helping young people learn about how to become a marketing tool. These are skill sets that you can teach for years to come. Like, if you learn how to actually go out and promote yourself, it doesn't matter what you're promoting. You're able to communicate with an audience. It could be selling t-shirts or cell phones. It's sales. And that's the thing that this card teaches these young men and women. It's how to be confident, how to communicate. I hate to break it to this next generation. Not everything can be done from here. Every once in a while, you do need to go talk to somebody, and that's a great thing that we can do. So, Brian, I'll let you guys wrap it up. I appreciate your chance to the audience today, and it was awesome as always, brother.
For sure, man. We'll be doing it again. We'll be in communication. Appreciate your time, man. Keep killing it out there. All right. So, Dillon, man, I appreciate you as well for chiming in. And as we get ready to wrap it up, now I know you have you got 2 little ones, right? Just 2 little ones.
Sure.
Are they both girls?
No, 2 boys.
2 boys, yes. All right, so you got a few years before they can grab a MiCard, but what is what is something that you see you getting yourself involved with MiCard? What's the benefit that you really see, being able to be paid off or, handed down, so to say, to those kids?
Yeah, I mean, I just love working with the athletes, and hopefully with my background, my wife was an athlete as well too. She played soccer at Georgia State, so hopefully our, kids get maybe her athleticism. She claims to be a little bit better of an athlete than I was. I'll give, but hopefully they're able to use these tools and everything, that MiCard has, and hopefully be able to put some money in their pocket using it, and just make recruiting a lot easier for them as well too. I know when I transferred schools, from one Division II school to another Division II school. Wasn't the easiest, trying to communicate with these coaches and stuff. Transfer portal and things were not as big. And something like this can make a huge impact on somebody, especially in a transition period like that. So, I just, I'm looking forward to passing it down to them as, the years come on and see where their athletic, route takes them.
Yeah, man. And I mean, there's just so many different ways that, this can benefit not only ourselves, but those who we care most about. So thank you both again for your time today. Um, I got a lot more I got to get done today. But we'll be doing this again sometime in not too long. I got a crazy month of March coming up. So we'll probably be, actually, you and I, Dylan, we'll likely link up during March. I might be, since I'm going to be in Florida, I might have to see if I can link up with Ralph too. But we shall see. But thank you guys again for popping in. I'm going to reach out to you guys afterwards, just kind of touch base on a few things. But the audience, thank you guys for tuning in as well. I know we had a handful of people who hopped in that actually have their MiCard already, that are looking to upgrade. And guys, let's just make the rest of this week the best of this week. You got any questions, comments, concerns, doubts, suggestions, grievances, whatever regarding MiCard or life in general, you got 3 guys right here that can probably pour you a little bit of knowledge, a little wisdom. Off that note, we're out. See you soon. Ralph, Dylan, talk to you guys soon. Take it easy.
Thanks, brother.